Hello friends, let's look at a little bit better background here. My name is Brianna Wilkerson. I am a health coach with Madewell, my health coaching and business and blog. And so today what I really want to kind of talk about is, what does healthy eating really mean? Because if we're quite honest, it can differ from person to person. You see, in today's society, there are so many diets. There are so many things saying we need to eat this, we need to eat that because it's going to lower our cholesterol, it's bad for our cholesterol. And sometimes you could just want to give up because you're not sure what's actually beneficial for you. I understand, and I get the same way sometimes, and I was the same way. Until I really until I really did a program called Whole30. So, this beautiful book says it starts with food. Dallas and Melissa Hartwig wrote this, and they have about 2 other books now that kind of help identify that. So, what Whole30 is? Whole30 is just a 30-day challenge where you're eliminating certain foods that have been scientifically and experientially known to be problematic in some people's lives. And as well, then what you do is after the 30 days, if you want, you can incorporate those back in to see how your body reacts to them. Now, I did this program 2 years ago, starting this month, with Nicole Krantz, my good friend, and our lives were just transformed by it. We just really felt free from the tyranny of the world in regards to diets, and just really started to see that real food, whole foods, are actually the most nutritious for you and the most beneficial for your body. And so, in anniversary of that, we are both doing Whole30 again, just because we both felt like we needed a reset. Both felt like maybe we were slipping a little too much, having a little bit too much of this there and there, and just wanted to reset. Now, there are 4 key things that you really want to think about when it comes to healthy eating and healthy food. They kind of talk about this in their book, It Starts With Food. Really, the 4 key things is that food, let me make sure I get this correct. The food that we eat should promote a healthy psychological response, promote a healthy hormonal response, support a healthy gut, and support immune system and minimize inflammation. Now let me just talk about those things briefly. So, food promoting a healthy psychological response. So everything we eat has an effect on our whole entire bodies in some way, particularly the brain. So when you're eating, is this food actually promoting a healthy psychological response? And by that, I don't just mean emotionally. By that, I also mean physiologically and biologically. So when you eat certain foods, let's just say carbohydrates or sugar, our lovely friends, your body will process that and it will release certain hormones, dopamine, opiates, that if those things are sweet and pleasurable to the body, your body will want more. So it's not just willpower as a matter of that once you start eating some cake or something that you can't stop. It's literally a physiological thing happening. So are the foods we eating promoting a healthy psychological response where, our gut then tells our brain, I'm full, you don't need to eat anymore. And that usually happens when you're eating whole natural foods. Now, when you're eating things such as Oreos, let's just be honest, you're not full. Or if you're full, it's just because you ate so much. And your body keeps telling you want more, right? Your brain tells you that you need to keep eating more. Now, if you eat a piece of steak, you can only eat so much piece of steak, right? And that just goes to show you in regards to how your body responds in your mind. Now, the second thing was promote a healthy hormonal response. So there are hormones going on in our body all the time. Now, hormones aren't just native to women. I know we're like, oh, we're hormonal. There's obviously estrogen happening at that time of month, but regularly we all have hormones such as leptin, ghrelin, insulin, all these different things, cortisol, that go through our body and help manage the situations that we're in and manage our response to stress, manage our response to fight or flight, manage our response to even when we're eating. Now, certain foods can cause an imbalance in certain hormones that will then indicate to our body to respond in a certain way that is not always healthy. So you know, I'm going to look at a specific example of this because I don't want to get this wrong for you. All right. So when it comes to hormones, insulin, leptin, and glycogen and cortisol. So insulin is actually the main thing you want to think about in regards to when you're eating. So when you eat sugar of any kind, your insulin level will go up in some way. Now, when your insulin level, what insulin is pretty much the hormone that's responsible for energy and processing the carbohydrates. Let's talk about this. So when you have constant sugar or constant things just plugging into your body can only store so much carbohydrates and sugar. And your body wants to take the sugar away from your blood and store it, right? Because it's not healthy for your blood sugar levels to be high. But what happens is that when you're eating too much sugar, too much food that will turn into sugar, we could talk about that another time, there's going to be a time where your body cannot store anymore. So therefore, the sugar is remaining in your bloodstream, which is not healthy, right? And that's how things such as diabetes happen and stuff like that. And it's not just by eating candy bars or anything like that. It is by carbohydrates. Now, carbs, I eat tons of carbs, but it's the carbs that I eat that are different, right? They're not processed. They're whole, they're naturally occurring state, right? Like fruits, veggies, plantains, all those sort of things are better carbs than, say, I'm just going to say it, than bread, than rice, than pasta, because those are empty carbs and they hit your bloodstream like that very quickly and they don't have much nutrition. So it's not a matter of just calories, fat, and sugar. It's a matter of nutrition as well, okay? So the third one was, does this food support a healthy gut? Now, what most people don't realize is that within your gut is 63% or more of your immune system. Let's just stop and think about that, because how you eat will then dictate how your body is able to fight off unwanted illnesses, fight off bacteria, and fight off bad things happening. So you know yourself, when you eat well, you feel better. That's because your immune system literally is functioning at a better capacity. When you eat poorly, you feel poorly. You might not just look poorly, you feel poorly because your immune system is down. And so there are also different foods that could affect our gut and kind of tear away at the insides. And so it's actually very important to think about, is this food also helping my gut and my immune system? Okay? And the fourth thing is, does this food support my immune function and minimize inflammation? So inflammation in your body is caused whenever there's something going wrong in your body for too long. I'm not just talking about like simple inflammation that happens like that. I'm talking about chronic, systematic inflammation. If that's constantly occurring, your immune system is constantly trying to fight that, and therefore it's not fighting anything else that's happening. Your whole body becomes inflamed. It goes into survival mode, and things are not operating at their functional capacity, right? And so we have to ask ourselves, are the foods that we're eating, are they healthy in the sense of these four things? Do they promote a healthy psychological response in our bodies? A hormonal response? Do they help our gut? And most of all, are they helping build up our immune system and fight inflammation? Those are things we need to think about. And so that seems very high level, maybe feel out of your range or whatever, but that is why I'm so passionate about Whole30 and people eating real foods, because it literally has transformed the way I eat and that I approach life, and I don't feel like I'm ever on a diet. I do not feel deprived. I feel healthier, I feel stronger, and I feel more all around better, right? And I know I look better because my body's getting the stuff it needs, right? And so if Whole30 or learning more about whole foods is something you're interested in, I am going to do a webinar next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central, that pretty much talks about Whole30 and talks about whole foods. And also I will explore how essential oils can help with that, right? Because just as importantly as what we put in our bodies is what we put on our bodies and what we smell. Okay, those are two things people don't recognize. The cleaning stuff that we're using, the lotion that we're putting on, the stuff we're putting in our hair, the medicine we're taking even. we need to just stop and think, is that the most natural source for actually being effective to fight that remedy, right? So if you're interested in that webinar at all, feel free to RSVP for that. It's completely free. The link, I'll tell you the link. It's http, then you know the little colon / natural solutions for your health 345.eventbrite.com. Okay, natural solutions for your health 345.eventbrite.com. And I'll put it in the comments too, so you can just easily click it. And if you somehow missed the link, just call me or text me or message me or something, right? So guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening in on the importance of learning what healthy eating is. And remember, it's just really analyzing overall, is the food that you're eating nutritious for you? Does it produce a healthy psychological response, a healthy hormonal response? Does it support your gut and your immune system? Hey, Angie. And fourthly, does it build up your immune system as well as fight inflammation? All right, so make sure you sign up for that webinar if you want to learn more, and reach out to me. Okay, have a great Friday and weekend, guys.